And yeah, and we stayed in some adventure toilets or something. adventure
They just looked like outhouses. They weren't actually
like
outhouses. They just looked like it. They weren't actually functioning outhouses anymore.
Yeah, actually, they didn't have an outhouse in the thing that looked like the outhouse. You had to go out to another place.
The hole was outside. Okay.
So yeah, we had that. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, no, we've done a lot of
I've
shit.
traveled to a lot of countries in the third world, and I've been to some pretty horrendous toilets. And that could be a subject matter for another podcast, actually.
Oh yeah. And Guatemala, China. Oh yeah. China.
Laos, a few horrendous toilets that I've sort of wandered into.
Oh really? And Laos? I don't know.
Laos,
actually, Laos, to me, I haven't had that bad of experience versus China and Guatemala and some other countries. Ooh.
You're right, George. You're right. That's actually a whole podcast. I can think. Like the top 10 or 15 are flashing through my head right now. It's just
the worst toilets I've ever been to. Sort of
I'm in Africa. In Africa, yeah. The worst toilets. That'd be a shitty podcast.
The African toilets are like a whole category all by themselves. That, they're sort of like they're like another level of disgusting and horrible.
And then like you're on a train and you go to the toilet, you look down, there's a fucking hole. That's it. That's your toilet, you got shit or piss.
I was working in China out in the country somewhere, and I went to the toilet, and it was just an overhang. And down the bottom were like a group of 20 pigs.
Yeah, fairly, yeah. For me, when my first
fighting over this piece of poo,
something. Something.
It's just horrible, actually.
Yeah. My first scary toilet was in China. It was when I first went to Asia. I was on a scholarship to study in China 500,000 years ago, and I remember it wasn't even very quickly I realized that wasn't like the standard of toilet wasn't that bad compared to what's going on. But it was the first one I remember was back then in the Shanghai train station. So back in 1983, 84, I had to go for a crap, and the toilet was this shed that was about 100 feet long, and it was this one trench right down the middle, and about 400 guys squatting like butt to cheek, just going for a jump. Like the guy in front of you is like this far away from you, going for a crap. The guy behind you just, what the fuck is this? Did I stumble into some kind of movie that is like, this is like what? This is not what? It really threw me off. It just, for me, going to the toilet, I always used to be a pretty private thing, I never
it's quite a thing to watch, like a rural Westerner come to a developing country for the first time, and taking them to the toilet.
Yep.
When they come out, they're like, their face is drained of blood, and they look as though they want to break down and cry, and you need to take them back to the hotel.
Oh, sure. We've all had our favorite, favorite restaurants and toilets that you would take your customers or clients to along the way. I used to do this. I used to, knowing full well there's a much nicer toilet like 2 blocks up that way, or a much nicer restaurant, but we would take him to this one just to get that reaction.
Would have been dead on arrival.
Yeah, no, it really stinks, man. That's a shitty. It's bad. I mean, and even in Asia, because the first time
of our work life, isn't it?
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, in Asia, the first thing I learned was about the squatting toilet. Where you don't have a seat, you're just squatting the damn thing. It's like, what the hell? How do I use this fucking thing? How do I not fall in the damn thing? It's like it's on the floor. You got to squat down. Shit, I learned. I did that in Thailand and Malaysia. I was like, holy shit. When I'm young, it's not so bad, but now, holy no.
You know what I found funny about that though? I did the same. Like I lived in Asia for a long time. There was squat toilets everywhere. And then the first time I went to France, first time I went to Paris on a business trip, downtown on the Champs-Élysées and then somewhere and I had to use the toilet in this place and the toilet was downstairs. It was a squatter. I'm like, It's not a Chinese restaurant or anything. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Is this a whole thing? Is it just like, is it only in my hometown in Canada we actually have things you sit on? I thought the whole world had those. Maybe it's only my house has that. I don't